styles because they're going to be the leader of that classroom. They need to have that relaxed feeling or that freedom to know what they're doing in the classroom. And so as an administrator, I make sure I go in there and let them know that they're doing a good job.
According to Anthony Grasha, professor of psychology at the University of Cincinnati and author of Teaching with Style, there are 5 categories of instructional styles. The expert. The expert is extremely knowledgeable about his or her subject and shares his or her knowledge with students, challenging them to enhance their own knowledge and skills.
To me, the expert style is kind of the person that lectures and imparts knowledge. You're supposed to be the person who has all the answers.
I think the expert style applies when you're teaching facts, perhaps a history lesson, and there's definite facts that are not to be disputed.
The formal authority. The formal authority leverages his or her position as the classroom leader to establish standards and expectations for learning and conduct in the classroom. The formal authority is very concerned about providing feedback and accountability, as well as the structure students need to learn. The personal model. The personal model uses himself or herself as an example to be emulated. A good example of this teaching style might be when a teacher participates in journal writing activities along with the students. The facilitator. The facilitator coaches students and acts as a consultant for their learning, offering encouragement and help as necessary, and acting as a sounding board for ideas. This style lends itself well to project-based and problem-based learning, as well as cooperative groups.
A lot of times what I'll do to be a good facilitator is have kids on certain days assigned to meet with me in a small conference so that we can go over whether it's reading, whether it's science, or some kind of a project, so that I can make sure that I've met with each student to offer suggestions or ideas and just really listen to what the progress they've been making is.
The delegator. The delegator motivates students to function independently or in autonomous groups without the need for constant teacher supervision. Like the facilitator style, this style also lends itself well to problem-based learning, projects, and cooperative learning groups. These instructional styles often overlap, as teachers usually do not belong to a single category, and teachers often use different instructional styles depending on the student or group of students and their learning styles. Keep in mind, as with anything else, each style has its advantages and disadvantages in the classroom. It's essential that you monitor your instructional style and see if it's working for you and your students. There are a few questions you must ask yourself. What is my primary instructional style? Is this the right style for the subject matter, or would another style better benefit my learning objectives? Does my style promote good classroom management and achievement for my students? These questions will help you determine if the instructional style you're using with a particular lesson is effective. You may discover that you need to switch styles in order to benefit your lesson plans and increase student learning. For instance, an English teacher may prefer the expert style, but the facilitator style may be more appropriate for the writing projects he or she likes to assign. On the other hand, you may discover that your style works perfectly for the lesson. But don't be afraid to experiment with a new style if you think the lesson will benefit.
I use a variety of teaching styles in my classroom, but one that I really like is the personal model, because it allows for a lot of hands-on activities and a lot of modeling, which I think is very important for students with special needs. Plus, it can't hurt the other students either.
What's your instructional style and how does it measure up? Take a few minutes now to stop the tape and do Activity 2-1, My Primary Instructional Style. Honestly answer the questions to check the effectiveness of your style. If you're watching this tape with a group, discuss your answers.